doing, sir?
Doing great. This is a really exciting matchup. Boom up against Motivate Trust. This probably is one of the determining matches for who goes to the major, right? And we've seen this matchup multiple times before. Most recently in the Mineski Masters, that went 5 games. Motivate Trust did win the first 2 games. They just got reverse sweep, so we'll see if they can carry that momentum and pat a bit about it. Draft looking a bit, you know, maybe compromise here for Motivate Trust. So we'll see if Boom can manage that really big here.
Yeah, I know the pre-matchup video, they were talking about just shutting down Jackie, but literally using all their bans on Jackie and then taking his Ricky at the end as well, one of his signature heroes. I mean, they really focused on Jackie. They were not joking around. And with that, we can head into game number 1 between these two. And it's kind of like you said, John. A lot on the line for both teams. Boom currently under... Oh, wow, a sky view here. Gonna give a quick shout out to our producer and observer, Mr. Pythian, for doing this fantastic work. We've never seen this before. The sky view.
Oh yeah, he's been raving about doing this for a while. Glad to see it in play. Very cinematic view. Would have been nice if both sides were maybe building up towards first blood, as we know both sides like to do. But it looks like Boom is kind of playing it safe. So is Motivate Trust holding back. So no big action yet, but lovely view, Mike. Lovely view.
Oh, it absolutely is. Absolutely is. Going back to my point though, Jonathan, I mean, Boom Esports currently undefeated. They're 6-0 in terms of individual games. Motivate Trust, they did drop 1 series, but they are still 3rd place right now in standing. So they are still in the running at the very least to try and get a wildcard spot. Well, when you are up against teams like Boom and T1, you could kind of guarantee those two might just make it right through to the major. But Motivate Trust, they're kind of fighting for that 3rd place spot right now. Obviously, there's more games to go and everything could change up. But this matchup's very important. And if I do say so myself, John, I feel like if there's any team that could hand Boom their first individual loss, it'll probably be T1 or Motivate Trust. And T1, well, they're later on. So Motivate, they've got their chance right here, right now.
Yeah, and again, we've seen it before. Motivate Trust did manage to go and force 5 games in Mineski Masters finals. Of course, they won the first 2 games. Maybe in a best of 3 that will play in their favor. But again, with this kind of draft, it's going to be a bit difficult. Still, we'll see the lanes break out. We are taking a peek here at mid, where we've got Yopaj on his TA and Gotcha Boy on his Ember. Panel mentioned it a bit. Gotcha Boy did not have the best of times on his Ember last time, but Motivate Trust do have that, you know, counterplay up against TA. You can burn down Refraction. You can maybe manage the lane. We've talked about TA against melee matchups, though. It can be a bit easier to land those side blade hits, and you're already seeing Yopaj kind of use that, to kind of bully out Gotcha Boy in this early level.
Well, that's another thing they talked about video prior to the series starting, John. I mean, Motivate Trust, the person they fear the most on Boom is Yopaj, and I don't think that's to anyone else's surprise. I mean, Yopaj, he is kind of known as that secondary carry for Boom Esports. Does make a lot of work happen, and we'll see if Gotcha can try to slow him down here in this laning phases. For now, Gotcha's having a fine old time. We'll see if he can slow him down during that mid game where you do expect Yopaj to start to escalate in terms of net worth. Still, we should have a look at the other lanes as well. Of course, over at the top lane, you will have Boom Bowie and Jackie against FBZ and Tims. Not the easiest lane in the world for a lifestealer either, John. The Mars, obviously very, very good at just denying creeps away from the other carry. And it's FBZ after all. He's the spine of the team. Obviously just very consistent in the off lane. And on the signature Mars, it's going to be a hard matchup.
Yeah, you also kind of lose your combination here with a Mirana, right? You're forced to run Mirana 5, not much synergy with the Lifestealer. You can't really go for early arrow plays, and you don't really have anything to set up for that stun. And that gives a lot more options for Boom to be aggressive. We're seeing Tim's just poke and prod at Boom Boy. He's got the stun, he's got the range. You can trade hits just fine. No real angles for Jackboys to even follow up if an arrow comes in. And the Lifestealer does kind of work the matchup against Moraz fine because you've got Rage, but that's by level 6. Laning phase, not very easy. You're still a melee hero. FBZ can still harass you out with a God's Rebuke. Maybe even a stray spear can catch you out, and that's enough to put pressure on Jackboy. So far, not being slowed down too much, but you have to worry about those level spikes as they come through, because those doubled stuns for Tims and FBZ can lead to some early kills.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the bot lane, the one we have left over, is going to be Masteros and Q against Skem and Tino. I suppose it's not the easiest lane in the world either for Tino here on this Ricky, but at least for now, 11-3, having a pretty darn good time. Of course, you do also have that kill potential with the Blink Strike into the Inkswell, and we're going to see it right now, in fact, as Masteros does get jumped. Stroke of Fate does also connect. They will just take off half his HP pool as Q. We'll try to punish Tino a little bit, but ultimately can't do too much against the Ricky right now.
It's a real slow lane for Motivate Trust early on. I think Boom has a lot of options to play aggressively and defensively. Eventually down the line, once you even get the smoke screen up, Masaros is going to be in a lot of trouble. Like he's one of those heroes that really hates the silence. So there's a lot of angles for Tino to take in this lane, maybe even opting for an early smoke screen if he feels the need to, but I don't think he will. If we've seen the aggression with Scam, Inkswell's up at level 2, they'll just keep playing
Masaros. Oh, he tried to go for the Astral. Has to use it on himself to try and survive through this. Does at least avoid the Inkswell damage, but well, now Tino, he's going to cop a bit of damage back. Too much to write home about, as he does have tangos, but never mind. He never got the Blink Strike off. And with that, they will claim first blood on Masaros, which is something I was not expecting to happen.
It's a big kill for Masaros. They've got a lot of damage output now. They've got a good save on the Astral. And they've got a massive wave pushing in that Skem wasn't really able to manage. So now Masa can start catching levels, maybe hit level 4 a bit faster. The Ricky's going to be a little bit careful. I mean, that was a decent attempt at trying to get the kill, but with that Astral up, you kind of have to time it now with Masaros' spell usage, and when he does find the angle to hit back, you can't underestimate the OD. Masaros also building into that Meteor Hammer real quick because of that kill. Only one part away, Mike. So once you've got that foundation, you could look to play.
They've got that Mirana. Boom Boy going to drop Jackie. I mean, you kind of brought this up earlier, John. I mean, obviously Jackie can't really help if an arrow does connect. On top of that, if Boom Boy does get jumped like that, Jackie can't help either. So very awkward situation here for the Lifestealer. Jackie, all he can do is farm up. There's just nothing else to be done in this laning phase.
Yeah, it's just a very passive lane for Motivate Trust. I think ideally for Motivate Trust, you'd want Jackie just farm up solo and have Boomboy rotate onto mid, maybe look for gank attempts coming out, help secure runes, but because the Lifestealer just doesn't win the one-on-one matchup against FBZ, it's a bit tougher. At the least, Jackie is getting some space to farm, but again, it's not much faster than what we're seeing from FBZ, and that does mean our Mars is still going to hit level 6 at a good point, hit phase boots, hit blink, and once you have that combination up and running, that's all you need from Boom. You just run around elsewhere, ignore the Lifestealer, you can kind of deal with him later on, and kill everyone else that might want to set the pace for that hero.
I just think it's very concerning right now for Motivate. I mean, we're used to seeing Jackie at the top of this PS board, but FBZ's just done a great job of slowing him down as they do spear him up and they'll force the Rager. Just making him feel very uncomfortable in this top lane. I suppose on the bright side, John, you do have Garcha Boy who's having a decent time on the Ember, but he is still against the Idol and Paj is having an even better time. So, you know, I can't say that's really a positive for Motivators. Yeah, Paj, you know, he's still having a really, really good lane.
Oh yeah, still farming up every single time Gotcha Boy goes to the small camp. Of course, the TA can just clear out the raid a lot faster. They will catch Skem out, though.
They will for now, but the Inkswell's going to be there to kind of ward them off. They'll try to move back in, but Yopaj is around to zone them out, so they won't even be able to get the Grimstroke, as now Yopaj will go back in onto Garcha. That's a lot of damage out. Garcha, where's the Remnant, sir? He's going to wait it out. I'm not sure if he gets out of this. Flame Guard is there. Slide of Fist, but he is going to end up dropping. I'm pretty sure he had mana for a Remnant. He ended up not having it after he used Slide of Fist.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, John. I'm not sure what that was about.
I think he played a bit greedy. He wanted to go for Searing Chains and try to run. Didn't expect the rune to kind of bail him out. Good Dispel from Yopaj and Illusion. Just managed to take control from there. Motivate Trust off a really slow start. You did point out Gotcha Boy was one of the saving graces. I think now, with how your lanes are going, it's going to be slower for the Ember. They do manage to get that kill on the Ricky down bottom once more. So they're keeping Tino in check. That's going to delay the defusal timing. Ricky's not here. That really flat farms all too well. So that should give Motivate Trust a bit of an edge. I think right now for Motivate, Mike, they're going to have to shift their momentum onto Masa. He's got the Meteor Hammer. He's got the damage, he's got the control. You kind of need to base your aggression around this OD now.
I mean, massively, like you mentioned, John, he's having a great time. We have seen this before. I mean, the offlane OD can kind of transition into that late game kind of core that you need to carry you through the game here for Motivate. Releasing conjunction with Jackie. Yeah, they get the job done. You're seeing Yopaj though in that triangle now, just starting to farm up stacks. Yeah, this is the concerning sign when you're playing against a good TA player, is they rotate into that jungle and just disappear for a while. And once that happens, yeah, they kind of just come out with so many items and so much XP and farm. And I feel like that's about what we're about to see. Really nobody to slow him down. Just no roaming potential here against Japoi.
And that's not what you tend to say when you've got Mirana on hand, but Boom has just been forced to watch mid way more often. Tino, though.
Oh, Tino. That's a nice arrow out, but they are still going to turn with 3 heroes around. They'll make the jump in onto Bowie. Q's going to show up. They'll try to snipe Tim's on this line. He's still making a run. Sanity's even dropped, but nobody's dead yet. Tino's out of range now. Gacha, he's going to at least go after Tim's. They find something. They do miss out on the big Tino kill. They only end up getting a support line for their trouble. Maybe they can set up onto Yopaj, though. He returned back into the mid lane. They will have the Meteor Hammer to drop. Yopaj, he'll turn around and fight. Now FBZ's around. He gets a nice arena down. Masaros, he'll be the first to drop. And they found a great OG kill now as Gacha is still playing in that mid lane. He'll eventually have to back and... well, FBZ, he'll save the day. Yopaj able to walk back to the fountain.
He managed to kill off that tempo sepper right now of Motivate Trust. Without the OD, they can't go and transition to a mid push right now. They're giving a lot of space out to Tino to go back bot and farm up. And sure, you could argue that maybe Jackie's having a bit of a better time. Top doesn't matter that the Ricky's behind when Yopaj is so far ahead. They're going to have a TA with Blink very early on, then the Desolator's up. And once that BKB comes out after, Mike, your OD's not going to do work. No one's going to be able to touch the TA. That's going to be a massive issue for Motivate. They don't have the vision to drop in the triangle as well. They're just not scouting out in the way you'd expect when you've got Mirana, when you've got an Ember. You want to be aggressive on denying out this farm. Motivate Trust just can't get there. It's Boom that's kind of setting the pace and getting the counter initiation right.
They are 4-3 right now. Very slight net worth lead for Motivate Trust. It does feel like Boom are still well and truly ahead of this game, though. We've just seen this TA game way too many times, and again, Yopaj, he's just having a very free time. And in they go again, another free kill going their way, as they've got the Pango. You're gonna drop. That'll be a very early blink up now for Yopaj. And generally speaking, John, if you do end up going for the blink before the Deso, it does mean you intend to get somewhat aggressive. And it does seem like Yopaj does intend to do so.
He knows he's got a really early spike where it's going to take a while for Motivate Trust to burn him down, and that also lines up with the potential blink coming out from FBZ anyway. He's still a bit off from it, but once that Mars is up with a blink along with a TA, you can definitely just take all these fights coming true.
Yeah, Q's going to show off. They'll try and go onto that TA with the arrow follow-up. They might have enough control. Yopaj, he's dropping low now, and they'll leave him behind. That's what you wanted to see out from Motivators. Q setting up a very important kill here for the dire end. For once, it will work out.
Yeah, and that's a kill they needed. They need to keep that TA down, stop Yopaj from snowballing too hard, and the movement from Motivate Trust is starting to pay off, Mike. Jackie's being left alone now. He's actually catching up to the TA within about 300 gold. So your Lifestealer is going to hit Armlet Sanj timing really fast. He can maybe tank up, join in, look for Infest plays if they want to, and start swinging some momentum back towards Motivate Trust. So you're finding some wins here for Motivate. I think for Boom, they're also starting to get space out for Tino. They're working towards that defusal. They are smoking up with FBZ and Skem, though. So they could look for another kill opportunity here.
Classic FBZ play, even without the blink up. He just wants to rotate around the map and start creating all sorts of chaos. And Masaros and Q both can run right into him. FBZ, he misses out on Masaros, but they can still set up onto the Pango as now Tino, he'll TP in. They want to keep trying to go. Masaros, he's just trying to get out, and he'll be fine. That will turn right back around for a Meteor Hammer into an arrow setup onto Tino. With the Sanities down, they will be able to trade. A very nice trade, in fact, as Masaros will give a tip over to Tino. Make that 2. You know what, John? Make it 3.
Oh man, they're just bullying Tino. They're keeping that Ricky in extreme check. Again, that's stalling out the defusal. Tino right now is the bottom network core. Not what you want to see in a pause 1, but we sort of talk about this when we see a TA on mid, right, Mike? Like, the pause 1 on the safe lane, it doesn't really feel like your true hard carry. It's almost always the TA. So for Boom, sure, it's still a big loss losing your Ricky, but you're not losing Yopaj. I mean, he died once, he still has control of the triangle, he's still farming up. You will trade your Ricky away for your TA every single time.
Right, you will. It's kind of Tino's job here to just not really run a distraction, but again, just be a bit of a nuisance in this game and just rely on his mid laner to carry them through this one. The old TA works. Just never seems to change. You look back at Yopaj again, he's getting closer and closer to that Desolator now. It's about halfway there. Skarcha, he's been pinged out. Tino, no diffusal blade yet, but they're going to try and move in with the Earth Spike there from Tims into their Hex setup. They'll have more than enough. Gacha just, again, very aggressive positioning, but he will be punished.
It's a big kill on the Ember that allows him to push into mid-tier 1, which is extremely low. So they trade off the bot tier 1 for mid, much bigger take for Boom. Allows him to maybe invade that jungle, start planting some forward wards to watch the positioning of Motivate Trust and get some ganks going. For Motivate, opening up the bot jungle will give an access point for Jackie once he does feel pressured to leave the top lane. So it's opening up some avenues for them to farm as well. You're hitting some timings here in Masaros, which is really getting big. The Ags is coming through next after the Meteor Hammer. So double Astral Imprisonment's coming through. Very good to get some control going in the middle of these fights to set up and maybe even defensively save an ally while also looking for a kill opportunity. So I think, again, the key for Motivate Trust is less on the lifesteal, where he is still farming, but Masaros is the key one to set the momentum. Not even Gacha Boy. Like, he's still hitting some decent farm timings on Ember, but the main damage dealer at this point in the game is going to be Masa. And if that Ags does come through uncontested for the OD in these next few minutes, you might have some trouble early on, especially without the DPPs being up.
Oh, FBZ, he tried. Trying to use that double damage rune as bait, but the spear was just off the mark. Going back to your point, John, I do agree Masaros is going to have to kind of set the tempo of this game for Motivate, at least for now. Another thing, though, I feel like they needed to do is take down that mid tower, right? Like, you're against TA, you want to lock out that jungle, but hold that Thorka Scam is going to get stunned up by this Rolling Thunder into a nice arrow from Boom Booey, and they should have enough damage to at least find one, but can they find the next? FBZ, he'll drop the arena down. Do they really want to keep this fight going? Gacha Boy is going to be able to remnant out as now. Maybe they can find Tims with a buyback. Is going to be out from Scam. They want to keep the fight going again, but the Moonlight Shadow is not going to allow them out. Not from FBZ. But now the cavalry's here. They want to keep going. Motivate. Can they get it done? Sanity's out. They've got FBZ, but now your pass jumps in. Boom Booey. He'll leap out of there. In fact, now the TA in danger. Gacha, he's got the chains up, locking him down. Sentry Ward is already there to make sure they see him in your pass. Just about to tick over. And it looks like he will, as they can't save him. In fact, Tino, he's a bit late to the party, but he's shown up. They will happily take his life away as more tips to fly out for poor old Tino. Motivate Trust, John, 5k net worth ahead. And it doesn't seem like it matters if you ban all Jackie's heroes. Jackie, he hasn't gotten involved one bit this game.
No, and that's a classic Motivate Trust playstyle, right? We're used to seeing these guys cause havoc elsewhere, leaving Jackie alone and just farming up. I think for Boom, the reason they're allowing this is maybe they're not that scared of Lifestealer, right? They've got TA, they've got Ricky, they've got ways of handling Lifestealer towards the late game. But it's still a risky prospect because you're not winning those 4v5s every single time. You're giving Motivate Trust this build-up. You're allowing them to hit their farm spikes on Masaros. You're allowing them to farm up in Gacha Boy. Gacha Boy's just rushing BKB now in the Ember. He's just looking for spell immunity. He knows he doesn't need damage. He just needs to stand forward, keep the momentum up, get chains off, get vision out to enable Masaros to just stand and fight. And if they hit those spikes with BKB and Ags timing coming through, Boom's gonna have a rough time. Again, their own BKBs aren't close enough yet. So all the damage and control coming through from Motivate Trust is going to be very hard to play against.
Oh, absolutely, but they are still defending that mid-tier 1 tower with their lives. Boom just grouping up as 5, making sure it is not allowed to go down. As now Yopash, he does have the Deso up. And with that, they want to try and make a move onto that position 1 of Motivate. They'll head right up top to Jackie, who's running right back into them. This could be a very awkward scenario for Motivate to try and respond to this, as Jackie is going to melt very, very fast. No infest targets and no chance. Boom will not even give him an opportunity to think about walking away. They just lock him down forever. Mid lane though, Tino again being chained up. Q gonna try and reach for the Rolling Thunder. Tino, he'll go into that Tricks of the Trade with the Blink Strike away. Q, he will at least find himself another target in the form of Scam, but Scam's still alive. In fact, FBZ, he's gonna find out Q, looking for that spear angle. He'll get the unit down. Tims is gonna be there to follow up, and they'll get another kill, it seems like, as FBZ. He'll be the one to take it. And I thought, Boom, they might try to go for the Roshan, but instead they've got to address that bot tier 2 because Masaros has continued to push that tier 2 tower down no matter what's happening on the map.
And Masaros knows he can focus in on the lane, let the rest of the heroes keep running. They will catch Tims out though.
On these arrows just after the chains every single time. We'll find these supports very easily as now they can finally get that mid-tier 1. No problem for Motivate. They'll get it done. And sure, you're still going to be concerned about this TA, but it does not seem like Yopaj is ready to really start joining his team yet. At the very least, until he has that BKB up so he can avoid the Astrals here from Massaros. But Motivate, they're confident. They'll move into that triangle. In fact, they'll go for the fight now. Astral is out. They've got one target. It'll be FBZ on that Mux, who has no arena anyway, but they're going to try and blow him up in time. But meanwhile, Massaros, he got caught out. Yopaj, not quite there yet. They're going to keep trying, and in fact, one melt strike will get it done. But now can he get away from Jackie? He'll try. Rolling Thunder's going to be right behind us now. Garcha moves in for the chains out. They'll land the stun, and that'll be enough.
Perfect.
A pretty damn good trade, if you ask me, for Motivate Trust, as they found a 2-for-1. And more importantly, John, they found that real position 1 for Boom.
They take down Yopaj once more. He's trying to come in, leverage his damage, but without that spell immunity, it's just really hard for him to do if he can't get them in that burst window of control. The TA's being bullied out. Motivate Trust are hitting that spike. Jack Boys is just ready to join in, simply with a Sanj and Armlet. He's working towards the Scotty next. Not too far away. That's when the Life Stealer slows, and damage and stats are just a bit too hard to handle. You still have good burst on Boom. I feel like the pressure is starting to mount onto Tims and FBZ for that initial control now. So you've got to get your line blink up and running. You have to get that Hex target on point, and you have to make a choice. Do you jump the Life Stealer and Hex him up? Do you try to take control of Gotcha Boy? Do you leave Massaros alone for just the smoke screen? Because those are all the 3 heroes you need to worry about, and every single one of them have a way of working against the other control if it's not the Hex. So I think for Boom, they have to really think twice about the angles. They have to look for the opportunities to fight, and maybe just take it slow until the BKBs. I think you can still play with what area you have on the map. There are a lot of good wards from Motivate Trusto, watching that bot jungle towards the lane side. And in fact, every lane's kind of being on.
FBZ, arena down, it's not going to catch Q out, and Jackie will happily oblige his FBZ. He's not going to make it out. The Rolling Thunder barely making it in time. And we talk about this a lot with Boom. Even before the new roster, in fact, hold that thought, because we're about to have a bit of another gank going on. Garcha, he's got to chains out onto the line. Tims, arrow's going to be whiffed here by Boom Boy, but it won't matter as they continue to chase him down with the vision out from their Mirana. They'll be able to find a secondary kill. But my point was, John, even before the roster changes of Boom Esports, the same thing was always said. If FBZ struggles in a game, generally the rest of the team will start to fall apart behind him. And it does appear that's exactly what's happening.
And he had a pretty great time in lane. He had a couple of good early arena uses, but after that, Motivate Trust has been very disciplined and kind of giving him very few angles for the arena. There's just no clump up from Motivate Trust. They stream in one by one. They're using their mobility with their 2 supports on the Pango and Mirana quite well, playing behind Fearless, just letting Gotcha Boy go forward with the remnants. So you're always kind of split up. There's never a big arena opportunity to cut off these heroes, and even if you do find, say, Jackie, if you don't start with Hex on Life Stealer, you're probably not going to spear him up in the arena. So it's just a hard target for FBZ to start on. And Boom is just, you know, they're just not finding the openings. I think Motivate Trust have way too much control in the bot jungle. They've got good watch points on those entrances in that area as well. So they can tell if someone's sneaking in to farm in the area. They can go in for the punishment. Boom's wards are a lot more defensive towards top here. Like, they're watching their own triangle. They're watching top small camp entry just to ensure that Yopaj has good area to clear out camps, clear out some stacks and ancients. And they are playing the patience game quite well with Yopaj at least. You know, your TA's avoiding these fights. BKB's 2 parts away. The gold is starting to build up. Boom are looking to maybe go for a smoke play though. They are clumped up, but they aren't going to go for it. They're just going to go on a D-ward run for now. They do have the arena ready. They've got the blink up on Tims. So that Hex initiation is there. Motivate Trust, they're the ones to go on a smoke instead.
Yeah, I think you might just go after Roshan here for Motivate. The thing is, right, you're against the TA, you know they want that first Roshan, but if Motivate can get it, it's a massive loss for Boom Esports. Massaros, he'll get started. Of course there's a DD rune available. Well, why not, Jonathan? Someone started Roshan. How else are they going to get it done?
They might be spotted though, and they get a good scan to watch rotation from Boom, so they could fight back here.
And they've got to be very quick though. John Roshan is very, very close to dropping. They've got to go right now, but they don't have the chance. In fact, now Motivate, they'll turn around. Scam, he'll stick behind and just sacrifice himself for the rest of the team. As they chase him down, they'll use the Rolling Thunder and pretty much waste it. Scam, Higan is there. He's still outrunning Gacha, and they can't catch him. Change out again, but are they going to commit? Jack, he'll go. Massaros with the Astral. This could be very dangerous without the rage up. But it won't matter because Boom, they do not want to fight back. Or maybe they do. Sleeping Dart? That's not going to be enough. They'll let him go.
You see Yopaj, they had a good ward watching that jungle area up top. Might be able to connect.
Well, they may. Chains are there. Arrow again going to follow up. There's no BKB available. He just about had enough gold, but he did not have it out in time. Oh, Motivate, they are playing this game one perfectly. Even towards the north, they almost found Tino. Masros unable to get the vision in time to cancel the TP.
Yeah, it's a tough game for Boom. Like, again, they're trying to find farm where they can. They got a good read in Roshan. They just didn't make it in time. And they're being caught off guard before these key items come true. Now, Yopaj doesn't have long for that BKB. As you pointed out, Mike, he does have the goal. So next time around, it should be easier for Yopaj to stand and fight. I just worry that Motivate Trust has a bit too much on everyone else. Sure, the BKB is going to counteract Gotcha Boy's control and, to an extent, Masaros' control and damage as well. But Jackie is now at Scotty. So even if your TA can try to kind of hold ground and fight away, Jackie has enough stats, slows, and healing reduction to make good, consistent hits onto the TA, and that's just going to make it tough for Yopaj to get that core-to-core matchup going. And
you have to force this fight. The Boom Esports, they can't let this tier 2 mid go down. They've got the BKB up now on Yopaj's jump, but there's no buyback available, so this could be very dangerous. They'll make the jump in, try to get rid of that Aegis ASAP. Jackie's being controlled, but he's not dead yet. They'll go after Masaros instead, try to get rid of that OD. He will finally drop it. Jackie, he's going to go for the man fight. Onto FBZ, he goes to the spear away. He's going to be there as Gotcha. He'll keep going onto the Mars. They just want something. Chains are not going to connect though. He'll keep trying, but it's not enough. In fact, now the turnaround. Tim's is there. The Earth Spike will be enough to lock him down, and they want a bit more now. Jackie's very low. He does still have that Aegis, but you'd love to see it gone. But the End Fist will be out. And Boom Booey, he should be fine to leap out if he needs to. Though I say that there's no charges available right now. Tim's, oh, this could be great timing. He blinks in. Earth Spike is going to connect. They found the Mirana. Is that going to be enough for Boom? They may hover around for a bit more as Jackie, he's right behind the tree line right now. Tino hasn't seen him. TP's back, Motivated. Could be a very late counter initiation here from Motivate Trust. But no, it's too late. Boom. Except they are already within safety range. And they won't want to fight, not without their cause.
It's an awkward fight after already winning out the earlier one. No reason to force it out. Motivate Trust. The big thing that happened there was that Masaros was caught out in the arena, right? They managed to maybe cut off Jackie. You don't really care, because he has Aegis. He can be as far forward as he wants. He can rage out next life. But when Masaros gets controlled like that without any stall immunity on him, you lose out a lot of your damage right now. You can't Astral to save teammates. You can't Astral to set up for the stuns. You can't get off the damage with the Arcane Orb and drop the hammer or the Sand Cheese. So you lose a lot if Masaros is kind of just isolated like that. I think Motivate Trust has to be positioning themselves a bit better on that OD. Just maybe play a bit further back into the back line. Allow Jack to act as bait and Fearless to kind of jump in first and follow through afterwards. He's got the blink. He doesn't need to be too close. And they will go for a smoke play in Motivate Trust. Maybe they're feeling, all right, the BKB's maybe down to 8 seconds. Yopaj is pretty far away. He might be isolated, so they find a good rotation onto that TA. That could be a massive kill.
They see him. He was showing on the map there, clearing out that creep wave, so maybe he'll still stick around, and it does seem like he does for one more wave. It's always that one last wave that screws you over, but Yopaj will go for a TP. Can they make it in time? Hugh, he won't get the vision. Yopaj playing on the edge, but he will still make it out with his life intact. Motivate, they've wasted quite a bit of time running up top. I suppose they can address the creep wave, but that's going to buy even more time now for Boom to try and catch up. Keep up with the side of Motivate. They're not out of this game one quite yet.
They're hanging on there, Boom. They're still kind of keeping pace with Yopaj. He is working towards his Orchid into what looks to be maybe a Bloodthorn intro. So a lot of damage, good amount of control to kind of help them deal with, say, the Lifestealer, deal with the OD as well, while the BKB's not up. Aegis does expire on Motivate Trust as well, so they're not able to do as much with it as they'd want to. They've still managed to keep Boom down to 1 outer tower, but they haven't really won any big team fights with the Aegis, and I think that's what's setting Motivate Trust back a bit. They are maybe about to play a bit more patiently here. I think you really want to wait for Masaros' BKB. If you can enable your OD to just stand back, you know, wait for some initial spell uses, wait for the initial BKB pops to wear off, you can just jump back in on the OD, pop your own BKB, and turn things around. And that feels like playstyle Motivate Trust will have to take, because Boom are just happy to ignore Jack Boys. Like, they know the Lifestealer, they can just run away. They have good range, they have good mobility on all the Boom heroes. Still, Jackie finds another DD rune and will smoke up around it.
Yes, he does, John. And he's also got a Paladin Sword now. So just in case he needs some more healing, John. Just needed that Paladin Sword to come out. Very nice for Jackie. They start to move down towards the bottom side of the map. Boom Esports should know something is a little bit awry here as everybody's missing off the map. Jackie not going to have his smoke broken on Tino, and in fact, Boom, they've made a good read as everyone's already TP back towards the fountain apart from FBZ. Maybe there to break the smoke. Does have the spider legs. Oh, they found him, they know, but he'll BKB up and just TP away, and they don't have anything like a shot to be able to go through it. So more wasted time for Motivate. Boom Esports playing the cat and mouse game very well. Again, just buying more and more time to be able to keep up and catch up to Motivate Trust. That's about all they need to do right now, just play the long game.
They've got great scaling on hand with TA. Even the Ricky has some different avenues of utility down the line, and the damage will ramp up once you get enough farm as well. So I don't think you're too pressured here on Boom to take it too fast. I think Motivate Trust might be under a little bit more of a timer, but they also scale. I don't think the slow game hurts either side. It's just that Motivate Trust is missing out on that map efficiency by grouping up a little bit more, and that is slowing down their farm. I say that, but Boom hasn't really changed the net worth deficit. It's still at 7k for Motivate Trust. They've still got the lead. It's been steady. So Motivate Trust isn't really falling behind and working the map as well. It's still Boom. They're going for their own smoke play now this time around as well. Maybe they find the angle here.
They've got the Orchid up in your Page. That could help in just kind of making sure Jackie can't rage up, but he's got the double damage rune going right now, so this could be a very awkward time. Just gonna wait for that right moment. Arrow. Give a bit of vision. They've seen the items in your Page, and it doesn't seem like Motivate want to go too much further. It's one of those games. It's just so close that one bad team fight is going to turn this whole game on its head here for Motivate Trust. Boom Esports, they know that very well. So Motivate, they won't risk it. Roshan, it's going to be up in a minute 45 anyway. So that might be the next big team fight we see between these two teams. Or maybe not, because they've got a Moonlight pop now. Turn right back around for Motivate Trust, back into that triangle. Sentry not really around here for the side of Boom, so they are kind of going without vision. You see your Page. Sentry on the cliff though with FBZ. He'll get the spear back with the Astral. He's going to save a nice arena round, but Jackie, he's right onto your Page with the disarm out. Your Page can't knock out right now. Got quite a BKB TP away, and he's going to make it in time, it looks like, but the TP, it's taking so long. He is finally out of there as Tibbs. He's going to fly back on that Lion and try to rejoin this team fight, but they found Tino. BKB popped of his own to try and avoid that arrow. Onto the Mirana they go. They found Boom. Boy, been out scammed. He's in big trouble. Jackie's got him down. Your Page is reinitiated in this team fight. He's gone down Q, and Jackie can't really deal with him on his own. So they will back off as Tino gets a sleeping dart out. It's a 3v5 scenario as the Astral's going to be there. The Duke out the spear from FBZ, but now the smoke screen is out. Inkswell is there on Tino. Who do they want? They go on Garcha. Don't miss out on Jackies. He does rage TP away, but your Page, he's chasing them down. He does find Matros, and now he finds another. They've got Garcha, boy. Oh, this is really unfortunate timing for Motivate, John. 15 seconds away from Roshan respawn.
That is big for Boom. They can take control of Roche. They've got the trap set up. The respawns aren't too far off from Motivate Trust, but it's going to be a tough angle for them to find out. They lose their vision in triangle. There's enough time for Boom to maybe even go for a tower on the tier 2 here, and that does finish up Yopage's Blood Tour now. So even more damage output for him. All the hits are going to be critting for a little bit when they do take these engagements, and yeah, Roshan is set to fall. Roshan number 2 with the ad shard. A lot of good shards to give out. I'd say you might actually want Yopage's shard, because the silence again makes it so hard for Masaros to do anything, and we've seen that silence just destroy that OD.
Kim's gonna find Boom Bowie, and meanwhile Yapachi does find Q, but the Rolling Thunder is eventually going to come out. They want to try and delay this Roshan from happening as Tino. He's going to jump into the north. They'll try to head down the Mirana, but Roshan, who are they going after? They found FBZ on that Mars. Sanity's dropped, they'll get him. That'll be a good start. They go for a bit more. Q, he's been spotted out, or rather finds the Grimstroke. In the meantime, though, they've got Tino with the backdrop on Jackie. They might be able to get the control, but Tino, he'll get a sleeping dart and just try to TP away with the BKB up. We'll make it. Still 2 heroes down. FBZ does have buyback, but he may need to commit it to try and contest this Roshan.
That's a great fight for Motivate Trust. Maybe it looked a bit awkward in the angles, and the jump out from Jackie wasn't the best time, but still managed to find the key target that sets up these fights for them and force the buyback. They can't clean them up for Roche. They're going to have to play it a bit safe. They don't have Santis on their side as well, so their big AoE damage is sort of taken out, but you are hitting hard with Jack Boys. They can hold their position here. The trap is still keeping vision of them. They don't have a sentry to spot that out. So Boom always has a little bit of info as to where Motivate Trust is looking to play, and that means Boom can kind of go for a smoke play and find a right angle here.
I mean, they've committed the buyback on FBZ, so they've got to get something in return for their trouble. Boom Bowie, of course, on the Mirana. He just waited out his respawn as they'll 5-man smoke now. Lines being drawn out towards the Radiant Triangle, but Motivate, they might just go right back into that Roshan. Trap's taken out by Boom Bowie, getting rid of that vision. Boom Esports, wrap around back into the high ground of that dire triangle. Excuse me, rather dire jungle. Tino still hovering around looking for a target. Boom Bowie in the Roshan. Garcha looking for a chains out, but won't find that either. Jackie, he'll get back onto the Roshan, but Tino, he's in. He's popped his BKB. He's committed all the way, but the rest of the team's not there. Who are they really aiming? This BKB's been wasted for Yapash. He's going to jump in after Masaros, right after that OD. They might have him, but the Astral's there in time, and now Jackie, he's onto the TA. Tino went too early. Yapash is going to drop, and they may have just lost Roshan. Oh, they may have lost Roshan.
Absolutely perfect.
Yapash does not have buyback gold. He is 230 gold short. What do you do now, John?
You could try to force it. It's such a massive risk. It's only really FTZ and maybe Tino that can make a big play. But they're just going to cut their losses, give away to Roche. That is Aegis and Shard coming out. Gotcha looking to take that Shard. He's got the Remnants doing a little bit more damage as well, and just dropping Remnants if they find kills. More movement out for the Ember. 2 lives on Jackie. That's going to be a massive issue. And as Monsters is looking through these fights, he will have BKB soon.
And I think, well, they do get Boom Bowies now. They found the Ember. So Aegis or not, they will still find a great team fight in that mid lane here for Boom Esports. Motivate, they're the ones that are kind of pressuring to trying to make something happen with this Aegis up. For now, it does seem like they want to wait out the Abyssal Blade on Jackie. Perhaps after that, you try to make a play.
Definitely can. That should line up with that BKB timing on Monstrous. I think Motivate Trust have to be a bit careful when they split up. Boom don't have long cooldown spells. Maybe Finger's their longest one right now, but even then, once you hit level 18, it's not that long. And they can just kind of keep running, gunning, drop the arena, get a sleeping dart to set up, get the spear out, get the finger, get the burst damage going, and just clean up when Motivate Trust are grouped up. Side of Motivate Trust, they still have a lot of time in that Aegis. Again, fresh BKB on Masaros. I think next is really just Fearless's or Gotcha Boys Ags next. Once you've got that, the Ember's going to be a little bit better to play on the front line. It's going to be a lot easier for him to jump back, save himself, set up, and isolate certain targets as well. But Boom's doing the right thing. They're pressuring the top lane. They dropped 2 really good wards, watching that entrance of the top jungle. So if Motivate Trust wants to sneak around for a defense of the tier 2, there's potential for Boom to cut them off there.
There is. Top lane though, FBZ just so patient, waiting for Boom Bowies. Now he does move in, but the spear is off the mark.
Perfect.
Boom Bowie, he'll be very happy with that as mid lane now. Motivate Trust, they start to apply pressure back in with the creep wave. Jackie, he'll run up to the triangle. Melt Strike will be there from Yapash, but it's just a bit of a warning shot. Nothing right home about. Jackie will completely ignore it. Right back into that triangle. Start working on that Satanic. I believe he does have the AC on the way. Well, Tino almost losing his courier there as well to Jackie, but still this game is very, very tense, John. Even with the Aegis up on Motivate, they're still not comfortable. They're respecting Boom Esports. Gonna wait for that perfect opportunity.
Yeah. And
lane, motivate, trust. Keep hanging around. Let's give themselves a nice little power rune, and again, just try and control that triangle area.
Is under attack.
Jackie's very confident in that mid lane to just farm the creep wave as far as he wants to.
His bottom tower is under attack.
Now go after that top tier 2 tower. I mean, there's not really much to stop them. Motivate, they'll move in. Creep wave on the way. Boom Esports, they'll do the exact opposite and go after that bottom tier 1.
Tower is under
They might still have enough time to try and go after that tier 2 tower, but at least for now they'll leave it.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Motivate, do they go high ground?
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And try tier 3 tower under siege. Boom Esports, they've got to try and react to this, so Tim's going to jump in with the stun out, and FBZ now with the spear, but the Astral again going to buy time for Jackie. Just wait out that stun as they move back in onto FBZ, but it's the tier 3 tower. What they really want, won't be able to finish it quite yet. Get a pretty big patience game from Motivate, but they still have about a minute with that Aegis up.
Radiant are scanning for enemies.
Go back in, at least get that tier 3 tower down. That might be enough for Motivate Trust. Boom. They won't move down to the low ground. Fear of retaliation and Motivate, they are done. Tier 3, it'll be enough for them for now. It's like they won't really have enough time on their Aegis anyway to really keep going for that Raxa top lane. So it may just be a matter of waiting for the next Roshan attempt. Unless they are going to go right now, and it looks like Jackie might try to force a fight. Yopaj, he's still there. FBZ's ready to set up. Yopaj, he does get chained up. No flinching yet though from FBZ. He's just waiting it out. Boom, they just stand their ground, and now the Aegis is officially gone. There should be another queue for Motivate to leave this top lane. Well, should be at the very least. There is a double damage rune down at the bot rune spot, so you've always got that going for you if you wanted to take it. Though Roshan is still 2.5 minutes away, so that might make it a little bit challenging. See if they do end up wanting it. We are going to have a pause out, and it does seem like John's temporarily disappeared on me, which is going to make it a lot of fun. So John's gone now. And maybe he's too much of a big shot to hang out with me and cast anymore. I'm not sure, John. He might have just gotten annoyed. Just left mid-sentence for me. They do eventually unpause, and they do ping out the DD route. So they are aware of it being there for Motivate Trust. Or at least Boom Esports are, because they're drawing a line and running right to it. That could be the game changer. DD route, 5-man smoke up, no Aegis available. Motivate Trust couldn't make all the pieces of the puzzle come together here.
Double damage.
She'll be the one to take it and does activate it. So they want to try and go right here, right now, but Motivate. They're 5-man smoked up. They're going to try and make it happen, but FBZ, he'll have his smoke broken. Jackie will run in. Arrow, it's going to connect onto the Mars. He needs help right now. He's still going down. Bashes out. FBZ, he'll get the BKB off an arena in time, but it's not going to be enough. Soulbind is there. Tino, he's going to try, but he can't get the jump up by himself. In fact, the Rolling Thunder. Q just holding everybody else back at Yopaj. He's popped the BKB, but he needs to blink out. He cannot take this team fight. Bash is there, however, Jackie, he'll get the Abyssal Blade in time. He cancels the TP in Yopaj. Well, he gets Gotcha Boy. It's something for the side of Boom, but it's not enough. 2 core heroes down without buyback. And Motivate, they should well and truly be able to go after Arax now. Oh, they may even have time for 2. We'll see how good of a job Boom can do to try and delay this as Tino. He's going to jump in with the nullifier out, but Masteros, he's got the BKB there. Stun is out, however. Onto that line stealer, but Jackie does not mind. He wants a tier 3 tower. surely you've got to get it here.
Is under attack.
And obviously they don't really know that there's no buybacks available on FBZ or Yopaj. They're going to try against the delay this as Tim's now has been caught out by Jax. That's another gone. Now a 4v2 scenario here for Boom Esports to try and defend this mid-rats.
Under attack. Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
13k net worth deficit to make matters worse here for Boom.
Bottom tower is under
I suppose the sleeping darts are buying quite a bit of time, but not quite enough for Jackie to not try for another Rax, I think.
barracks has fallen.
We'll head up top with this no tier 3 tower, just directly towards the Rax. Sleeping darts are doing some good work as the smoke screen hanging in swell is going to be there, but they have the Astral Tims. He's going to buy back. Soulbind is there to lock a couple down, but are they going to be able to jump in? They'll try on the Masteros on that OD with the finger out. They should have enough damage, but now the Rolling Thunder is there by Q to hold the rest back. It seems like Motivate are on the retreat now. Jepage, he's about to respawn up in 3 seconds, and he will be up, but it's too late. Everyone else from Motivate Trust has left the building. And Boom Esports, I suppose on the positive end of things, they only lose 1 lane of barracks. You would have assumed it would have been way worse than that, but that's about all that happens here for Boom.
Never refuse.
But they are now quite a bit behind, just about 15k net worth. Still not out of this game yet, but they've got to find a good team fight to try and kind of return the favor here against Motivate Trust. Not going to find a target though, Boom.
Is under attack.
Having a look around that triangle, but nobody's going to be there to gank up. Instead, they could try and work into that mid-tier 2 tower. And they will. Yopaj will go after it by himself.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire structures are fortified.
Motivate, they might just not feel comfortable to defend. They've got some buybacks. They should be okay, but you'd rather not get into a situation where you have to use those buybacks. Everyone's respawned up here for Motivate. Do they want to go for another smoke? Roshan is up, and that's a very important objective to go for right now for either side, as the pings are coming out, and they do smoke up as 4. In fact, it's the Moonlight Shadow they use. Traps are going to make it very hard, though, to go into that Roshan. If you Motivate, they don't have any sentries down, so they don't see it right now. No gem either. Still jump in. They found Boom Booey on that Mirana. A nice start for Boom Esports. More wards to drop here from Boom, and they might try to force this Roshan play. You can at least try to get the buyback out from Boom Booey to try and contest this Roshan. It is going down very, very fast. The side lanes just keep bouncing around. They found Jackie. Spear's out. This time, though, he got the rage jump just in the nick of time. As soon as they go on, Soulbind, it'll hold down a couple. Tino, he'll go into the tricks. Meanwhile, Arrow is going to fly in. FBT tanks it with the BKB out, and now Masteros. He's been caught out in the arena. That'll be 1 down. Buybacks to fly out. They need this Roshan. Sleeping Dart is there. They've got the Lime Stealer with the smoke screen out. They hold him down, but Garcha, he'll be there to try and save. In the meantime, Yopachi's found Q out. Another buyback forced in by Boom Esports as they chase down Yopaj with a blink away. This TA is just so hard to catch.
Swiftly to the
He's not giving the opening. Gets a haste rune and just runs away, but Motivate Trust, they're going to start the Roshan again. They've committed the buybacks, so they've got to commit to the Roshan. But FBZ looking for that spear target. Yopaj is in with the Bloodthorn out onto Q, but it's not going to be enough. So Jackie back in onto the Roshan now. They've even got the X coming out for Scam for that Dark Portrait. Masteros just fought back. He can't afford to die right now, but Masteros is going to drop. He can't survive. Boom Booey now will be the next target. The Soulbind is out for Boom Esports. They've got the Aegis up your pass. He blinks right in. He's got everything off the side of Motivate Trust. Oh, Boom Esports, they're doing it all over again. Just making the comeback happen. And it does seem like they might have the opportunity now to try and go high ground. There's 2 heroes down without buybacks. And with an Aegis up on Yopaj, there's just no reason not to. So they're going to try. It'll be a very easy tier 3 tower, but oh, they're going to go for tier 4s. They know no buybacks available on 2 cores means they can at least try for these tier 4s. It's just a massive comeback if Boom can make it work. Motivate, they're the ones under pressure now to try and make sure the Boom just can't take their Ancient for free. Arrow's going to fly through, but it will miss. Yopaj, he has the swift link up now. He'll just keep going, so Jackie is forced to try and force a fight. He will do so, but Yopaj just ignores him, goes back in after the tier 4 towers, but now Tibbs has been caught out on the line, but FBZ, he's in with the arena. Jackie with the BKB, he'll survive for now. He's going to have to 1v5 them though. He does get one, but Jackie now is being chased down by Tino. Do they just go after the tier 4s again? No, they'll try after Q. Back in on Jackie. Sleeping Dart will hold him down. They need your punch there with the damage output though. Nullifier is there. FBZ, he'll join in. Jackie, he's still alive. Turning right back around now with the bashes out. FBZ, he'll just hold off the shield. Yopaj, he's onto the Ancient. He does not give a crap about Jackie. He'll just keep going after the win. They call it. They call the GG. Boom Esports. They've done it once again. They did it a month ago in the grand finals of the Masters, and now they've done it all over again. Mineski Masters.